Now we are going to take a second and we're going to watch the actual trailer to this, and we're gonna see about it.
Whew. It is really picking up out there. Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the
Flashlights and batteries.
Oh, shoot, we got 5 minutes. Let's go.
We wouldn't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Hazel!
Oh, no! Mama!
Is that Hazel?
The trailer got swept downstream with Mama in it, and it ain't just about Mama. I'm seeing these things.
Hey, Hazel.
Who's there?
Up here. You find your mama yet?
A talking fish. Nope. Ain't no way.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as yourself.
What are you talking about?
You can't see strands, can't you? And a trained weaver ought to be able to rescue her mama easy. I can teach you the rest.
This better work.
Lost in a crowd, you feel your thoughts out loud. Lost in.
Can I help you, son?
You know anything about that creepy old house up on the hill?
Yes, that was once the home of Hug and Molly.
Wait, is Hug and Molly real?
All the stories are real, darling.
All your money until you come.
Weavers fix things deep down. They mend parts of your soul so ripped you'd forgotten they were ever one piece.
I came all this way to hear your story. The real story, Itchy.
It was complicated. This is grown folks' business. This ain't for you.
I ain't no damn child.
Then you're welcome to try bottling up the pain. But the roots of this trouble go deep.
Oh, dear. You've been keeping secrets.
It's your life now. You're gone. There's no tomorrow.
It's here, it's on.
I think the hard part for me is the game looks amazing. The only part that I don't like, honestly, is this choppiness, and they said that they're doing some kind of stop motion thing. It does not help the game at all. It does not help the game. In fact, the Lego Fortnite stuff tried to do this, and they reverted it because they didn't think it fit. That kind of like Lego blocky movement style. They said it just made the game feel unresponsive. And I think that's what you're going to get in this, is that's going to be the main issue of the game. Not all this other bullshit. The player feedback, like the actual, like when you're playing, like you want it to feel good, right? Like you want it to feel good. If they don't get that right, that's most of the game. That's a lot of the game. That's like almost all the game. You know what I'm saying? If they can't get that right, that's a problem, in my opinion. So I don't really know what they're going to do about that, because that choppiness and that slow movement and that like glitchiness doesn't feel like a style. It feels like there's something wrong with the game. I wonder how many people don't realize that that's what they added intentionally and are gonna, like, day one have like, hey, what's wrong with my fucking game? It's probably gonna be an issue.
and welcome to Compulsion Games here in Montreal, Canada. At our studio, we care about world building, and we treat the setting almost like a character of its own. From the magical noir of contrast to the alternate history of We Happy Few, we draw inspiration from the landscape to shape mood, drama, and intrigue.
And it's weird that We Happy Few did fine. Now, this was before the acquisition of Microsoft, but We Happy Few did fine. It did fine. No one had a real big problem with it. They thought the story was interesting. Everything was fine. I don't know why a studio that would produce a game like that, it was a pretty big game, if I'm honest. People played it, for sure. People liked it. I have never heard in my friend group one negative thing about it. They produced something like this. But this would get hate even though it's the same studio.
South of Midnight, our third-person action-adventure game, the story and characters bring a folkloric Deep South to life. This game...
Now, when they talk about folklore of Deep South, they're talking specifically about like Louisiana, Haitian, hoodoo, voodoo. And no, guys, I don't mean Voodoo Vince. I know. I love it too. We stay on topic, okay? There's serious grown-up talk going on, not Voodoo Vince. So, if you don't know what any of that is, look it up. Because one of the problems that we're going to have with people is that if you don't live in this part of the world, you're going to think this is all not authentic. But it is. It is authentic. And it is pretty along the lines of like, you know, they've done their research.
Gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while our protagonist Hazel is at the forefront of our story, it's the macabre elements and larger-than-life creatures that will leave a mark on her journey and growth.
It is really picking up out there. Did you pack it?
Even the house setting up on blocks like that, just so we're clear, you would have even trailer homes. Now, this doesn't necessarily look like a trailer home, but these blocks setting up like that is because, listen, in Louisiana, they're in a bowl, okay? They're below the water, essentially, and they use a pretty complex system of levees and dams and stuff to keep the water from flooding, but it literally always happens. There's nothing you can do to stop it. But just so we're clear, this is also authentic. You would have, and go look it up. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Go look it up. This exists. This is not them playing it up or trying to pull. Like, I've seen so many comments already about just weird, wild shit that people say, and I'm just trying to frame it for people who do not know. If you do not live there and you've never seen it, I am telling you, this exists. I shouldn't have to. Google is a powerful tool. But seeing this, I mean, hell, you can see this even in Florida. I mean, you wouldn't even, but there would be here, they would have pillars all down it. And this is so that when shit floods, you would have your house up high, and the water, you might get away with just the water going underneath and nothing gets hurt and you're good.
It is really picking up out there. Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the...
Now, some of the comments I've seen also is like, oh, well, why are they packing during a hurricane? Because typically smart people get the fuck out. Okay. Now, to be fair, we just saw Outside, right? It's a little late to be thinking about getting out, but people do evacuate at the last minute all the time. Typically, you want to evacuate here and you want to go to some place that you know is safe, rather than taking the chance that your house just survives based on pure luck or pure will, whatever you want to call it. Because I don't know why I need to say this, but again, based on the comments I've seen, some of you honestly believe that doesn't happen. People die almost every year. literally to the hurricane seasons, and I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where these comments are coming from, what part of the world. Like, I'd get it if you lived in, like, Saudi Arabia your whole life and you've never seen, I don't know, it's a desert, right? So if you've never seen, like, a hurricane, you wouldn't necessarily get it. I do feel like they're evacuating a little late here. They should have had a clear warning ahead of time. But this does exist. This is not inauthentic. The company is portraying this correctly.
Oh, shit, we got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Won't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Hazel!
That's entirely accurate.
Hazel may start her journey as a typical
So this is a voice and mocap actress.
19-year-old, but
I'm assuming for the main character.
push her into a darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is and how to tap into weaving, an ancient magical power that redefines her trajectory in life.
The land itself
defines her trajectory in life.
Now, this I will give a point. I will give a point to the detractors on this one. How do we know? Okay, so this company has 80 employees. How do we know they're inclusive? Could we just take their word on it, or are they going to show us? I mean, they did.
Games here in Montreal, Canada.
It's a white girl.
At our studio, we care about world building.
There is a group of guys, but we have an addition. I don't know. To say, I feel like there's more people like this at the studio that have to understand. I don't do this bullshit so far, where I take a stance. Some people have said, and I talk about the truth. It's weird. Okay, I talk about the truth. The truth is weird that this girl would be as like the main spokesperson for the video, but let me just say this: if she is the voice and the mocap actress, I think y'all have to shut the fuck up on that one. I think that's a hard shut the fuck up moment. She literally does the voice and she does mocap for the, like, she is the girl, okay? And if I'm honest, the features are similar. I don't hate it. They didn't try to do anything extra with the character that didn't seem already pretty normal. But I will say this. I'll give you this point. It's a weird shot to have when this is the lady talking and everyone else gets these solo parts and they need to show this room. Like, I don't know. I don't like companies lying. I would respect them more if they came out and said, just straight out to these people, we don't give a fuck what you think. It's just when we try to play like the battle of narratives.
Chooses Hazel as a weaver. Someone who can see beyond the surface and tap into deeper reality.
I don't like the battle of narratives. And I know y'all are already in the comments. You haven't even watched the fucking video, but
our world, connecting people, nature, and echoes of the past.
Keep those hands to yourself.
Hazel can perceive both the mystical strands and stigmas in the world. Through her newfound power, she reweaves these stigmas and mends the afflicted creatures she encounters.
I don't like that. I don't like that, the way they worded that. They're fixing stigmas in the world. They're rewriting history. They're fixing past wrongs and like uncorrupting the creature. Like, I don't know what that means, but it does feel like it's a little bit of double speak. So listen, I'm gonna get hate from both sides, but I'm just again reiterating. I'm calling how I see it. I don't really care. I just care about the truth. The truth is that that's what they call it, and that's what it is.
As Hazel discovers her power, the world gradually shifts into the surreal, revealing that creatures from the old folktales actually exist.
Now this is sick. I love this.
Among them is good old Catfish, the storyteller who becomes both the guide and companion to Hazel across
I love this dude.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as yourself. Would you kindly do your weaving thing and help me down?
Love the little fish dude.
Marks the true beginning of Hazel's journey. All of Hazel's
Now I believe this guy works there. Who is he? Game director. I believe that. Ah, damn it. I wish I didn't stop there because I just noticed what they did in the background.
all of Hazel's
There's a man there. That is another woman. That is a woman. That is a woman. And that is a woman. These are the same three women that were sitting in the office, and they used it as a set piece. They dressed them as a fucking set piece to show this dude talking. Why didn't this dude get a room off by himself like other people? You don't have to show this. It's deceptive. It's deceptive, right? Like, you don't have to show this. We get it. Women work at the company. We get it. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with women making video games. But the placement, it's like when they do one of those ads, like, and they're like, oh, we don't Coca-Cola, and it's like Coca-Cola in their hand, and they like, oh, my bad, and they fucking, yeah, it's Coca-Cola. I love Coca-Cola. Like, dude, like, we get it. We get what you're doing. A little annoying. I just feel like the game is so far pretty fucking good looking, and I'm excited for it, but I wish they just wouldn't do the extra little bits. I wish it did not pause it there. So fuck me, right?
arsenal and powers are designed around textile crafting and traditional spinning wheels. Her weapons include a spindle, 2 weaving hooks, and a distaff.
Now, I'm not really sure why the weapons are like that, or like, I'm sure the game will come out like, and will like, it'll make sense, but the weapons seem weird to me.
Abilities manifest with
She's like,
lace-like patterns, blending the traditional craft with mystical elements. Hazel engages with the world
like I get like a tailor.
through a variety of movement abilities.
She's tailoring the world. Like, I don't know.
Hazel progress on a journey.
As her journey unfolds,
I like the movement.
new weaving abilities, using them to traverse the
That looks
world,
sick.
conjure objects,
That looks really sick.
confront adversaries.
Combat is about understanding and adapting.
And look, if the combat feels good, the game's probably going to be good. The combat's going to be a big part of it. All they have to nail in the game is visual, which they kind of fucked themselves doing that weird choppy style, that stop motion stuff, combat, and then the story. As long as those three things are good, people are going to like the game. Like, you don't have to do any of the extra stuff.
Enemy archetypes known as Aints. The manifestations of corruption Hazel encounters.
These hates trap Hazel in combat until she unravels them, destroying them in the process.
Each Aint has its own unique moveset, strengths, and weaknesses that you'll need to learn and adapt to. For example, the slug burrows on the ground and unleashes the
in the process. These hates trap Hazel in combat until
I don't know what that word is.
that you'll need to learn and
Sorry.
adapt to.
I don't know what that word
For
is.
example,
I don't know what they're
on
saying.
the ground and unleashes devastating strikes.
If you know, put it in the comments. I don't know what they're fucking calling these things.
Ravager closes the distance with chilling speed. Hazel can counter these threats with agile melee abilities to execute powerful combos, jump attacks, and charge attacks. But close combat is risky and can backfire because Aints have powerful defensive abilities.
Ain't.
Mastering your magical skills become the key to gaining the
Okay, I don't care anymore about that.
push, pull,
Fuck it.
and weave.
They're still using these people as props. And this isn't a still image, by the way. These people are working they're just, I assume they're given the direction to like kind of chill, like don't create too much. Like she's not even moving her mouse. She is not typing. They're just looking forward at their screens. That honestly looks like fucking she's it honestly looks like she's just got the fucking task manager pulled up.
Timing is everything. Pull distant enemies close to start melee combos.
It's just a weird thing to put in a trailer, guys. Say what you want. It's weird. I've seen a lot of these games. I've seen a lot of these games and a lot of these people who have done these kind of weird, like little, like pre-game interviews where they like show you stuff. And like a lot of them didn't have all this prop in the background. They were just like the person, and there's a person, or there's just like a one person.
Once near death, enemies can be unraveled, breaking their core and setting them free of their core.
But typically it's...
which has the added benefit of providing elbows and reducing ability cooldowns. If you play your combos right, you can enhance Hazel's combat readiness and keep on chaining her abilities. As Hazel progresses in the game, she unlocks...
That's sick. I like this.
new moves and improved abilities.
I like... We've got a tech tree. I'm down with tech trees. I love tech trees.
The upgrades will change how you approach combat, like enhancing area of effect attacks.
Doesn't look like there's much options, but...
refining push and pull skills to improve precision and make them feel more rewarding. The combat system is fast and responsive, built around chain.
It is fast and responsive, but the visual aspect of it kind of iffy.
Landing precise strikes and unraveling enemies.
You mind if I take a look around?
Like that. Like, I don't like that. I don't like how they're moving. It makes me think there's something wrong with the video.
You can see every place old Molly terrorized and more.
Okay, we don't, guys, listen. We don't have to talk about this. We don't have to talk about this, dude. We just won't talk about it, okay?
Now for the low, low price of $1.
In Hazel's search for her mother, you'll
It's very hard not to talk about it.
explore multiple regions, each ruled by a mythical creature with their own Southern Gothic history. You'll gradually uncover the backstories of these beings, once human or animal, who were transformed by tragedy, their secrets waiting to be discovered. As a weaver, Hazel heals
Transformed by
these creatures
tragedy.
collecting fragments of haunted memories.
So they're not evil. She's just like, so she's not killing them. She's fixing them. Like we're supposed to be empathetic toward the giant crocodile. Listen, fine.
Call these echoes, which reveal each creature's past. Hazel must experience these echoes before she can mend them.
What kind of person would do that to someone?
We design each region to reflect the creature.
I really hope those are not politically motivated. I want to play this game. I desperately want to like this game. And I think you can. I think something... Hey, say it's woke. Say it's woke. Is it fun? Is it a good game? Like, if it's a good game, who gives a shit? That's what I've always said. I have never... There's been other political messaging and stupid shit in other games. And guess what? I played them and I loved them. I fucking lapped them up. If it's still fun and it's still a good game, I guess put whatever you want in it. I'm fine with that. But if it's not a good game because you ruined it with that shit and didn't focus on the stuff that you needed to, that's when it's an issue. I think a lot of people like me are misunderstood because they hear the opinion of the people who are super detractors of the whole situation. They say anything woke is bad. I don't think that's true. I think you can have a good game and it can be woke, but like that doesn't necessarily happen a lot. The games that do really good kinda just focus on the game and the narrative.
Feature that's been doomed to wonder it. From the atmospheric environment to unique music themes composed for each one. While not all encounters lead to direct,
The music sounds fantastic.
you need to face mythical creatures in epic confrontation before she can heal them. Our boss encounters and gameplay sequences also reflects the uniqueness of each creature, with distinct mechanics that center around a specific thematic. These encounters feature multiple phases that ramp up in complexity. As the encounters progress,
Dude, if this is the soundtrack, fuck me in the ass. This is so good. You heard what I said. This is if what we have been hearing is the soundtrack for sure in the game, this is gonna feel so motherfucking good to play.
the musical theme builds up, cranking the tension.
I love music.
Whether it's Tuto Tom or hugging Molly,
I got goosebumps just hearing it.
is inspired by Southern folklore and lead to climactic battles.
We got a long journey ahead.
South of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey, and as Hazel, you'll try.
See, she's alone. She's alone right there. There's no bullshit in the background. Well, hold on. This dude. That's not anything. I don't know. Yeah.
Girl's journey, and as Hazel, you'll travel through a tapestry of Saturn-inspired landscapes. From abysmal swamps to flooded farmlands to the Appalachian peaks. In our magical
Appellation.
south, decaying buildings reclaimed by nature stand moments away from a hungry Rugal. And as Hazel delves deeper, reality bends ever more toward the fantastical.
The history, landscape,
They're
and
blending a
folklore
lot
of
of
the American
stuff.
Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused the game with thoughtful details and environmental.
American Deep South. Yeah, the reason she's saying that, like that, is because the studio's in Canada, guys, and we're going to go over that.
Storytelling, like our bottle trees and haint blue porches, which are said to ward off evil spirits.
I fucking hope they did their research, because they're going to piss some people off with this. And not because you people talking about the woke shit, and not because all this, just because, like, sometimes some companies do a struggle to be accurate, but they only take the research so far and they fail on certain things. And that's what happened with this Assassin's Creed game. Is, wow, maybe you should have took the research just a little farther, bud, and you wouldn't have pissed people off, because they're not pissing off the people. You know, you're pissing off an entire government and an entire nation of people that are fighting back against it. You could piss off the wrong people. I just hope they did the research, because this looks sick. This looks sick. I've never seen a game like this. I'm excited for it. And that's what sucks, is if I say I'm excited for this, I get bitched at from one side. If I confirm it is woke, I get bitched at from this side. I think we all need to take like a step back here and say, if the game is good, let's shut the fuck up on this one. If the game is fun, let's all just shut the fuck up. If it's fun, and if it's a good game, I think we should all just buy it. And stop bitching on this one in particular. I get you're seeing a pattern, but if it's good, boy, I don't know if there could be a pattern strong enough to stop me from supporting it.
The way to the past emerges as central themes, which you can see through all the
This looks fucking sick.
buildings and businesses struggling to survive. As you explore,
I know some of you really don't believe, like, this feels fantastic. And it is fantastic. It is in a fantasy setting, but I'm telling you, you know, I've been to these places. I feel like I've been to these fucking places. The way, the effort that they took into recreating some of this stuff, when they definitely didn't have to, they could have just relied on the fact that, like, we got big monsters, it's scary, we got monsters, or, like, you know, whatever kind of combat they could have focused. No, but, like, the environment is fucking sick.
you'll meet locals who stayed behind even in the face of a hurricane.
That's why I'm the last person left here. All those damn haints. This part of the river's filthy.
Paints. Okay.
Artistically, we're staying true to our moody Compulsion signature style. But this time, we're using a handcrafted approach inspired by stop-motion animation.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done
which
that.
allows our team to bring a distinct personality and tone into every prop and character.
God damn, the music is so good.
Because this folklore is open to visual interpretation, we embrace the freedom to reimagine.
Okay, guys. Now, I love this. I don't know what this is, but I like this.
Imagine these creatures and their stories to adapt how they look and to craft our own version of.
Not a big fan of the spider lady. And you gooners better not even start.
At Compulsion Games, we love to craft around central themes. We're
Central
looking to
themes,
add
yeah.
talent across all our disciplines.
Okay. I mean, not bad. Not bad. And what sucks for people who actually enjoy certain types of media like Star Wars is that Ahmed Best is on this, and that's the guy who did Jar Jar. We should somewhat be excited for those things, but all these other things are making us think too much. It's very hard for us to just love something. I do want to take a small, little bit here to help people understand what is this company, who are they, and all that. Now, the key people and the founder, these are all white people. Okay? Now, part of me feels like if your company is woke, all of the head people wouldn't be white, right? And to be fair, I don't think We Happy Few had almost any elements of this woke stuff that everyone keeps talking about. Contrast definitely didn't. They have made other games, but they got purchased after making We Happy Few. I think they were purchased when Microsoft started buying up all these companies. And so this is the first title that Microsoft would have been directly involved in. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm talking to you guys like you're actually there. I need to kill the voices in my head. 80 employees. Pretty big company. But their parent company is Xbox Game Studios. So let's because I'm about facts. So here's some hard facts. The studio's in Canada. The lead people are white. I'll put them on screen. 80 employees. I tried to find demographics on these employees. It doesn't exist. They don't have any demographics on employees, so I don't know because people seem to really care about that kind of stuff. That's why I looked it up. People seem to really care about that stuff. I just feel like a woke company, a woke game dev, because listen, I have to go over this stuff whether I agree with it or not, because I'm trying to show both sides of it. Unfortunately, I can't be one of those guys that just sticks to a narrative and defends myself with bullshit. I can't do it. I can't just stick to a narrative if I'm wrong. And I can't just choose a political side and defend always. And always defend my point. I can't do that. I don't have that in me. I just say what the truth is. The truth is, like I said, 3 white heads of the company. These are the key people. These are the notable people. They don't have a real heavy past with being woke. Then they got acquired by Microsoft. Now, Microsoft does have a kind of heavy-handed approach with the stuff that people don't like, the DEI. Okay? Unfortunately, I cannot say how much Microsoft has control over what these guys do. This is the studio. They're making the game. I do not know how much influence that Microsoft has. I kind of feel like they have a stake in the company. You know, they own it. But as far as like telling them what to do, I don't know that they are. I don't know that that is a thing that they're actively doing. And I just look at the other games that they've made. We Happy Few, it's not a bad game. Contrast is not a bad game. They both did reasonably well. People really enjoyed them, and no one ever had a problem with the studio until it was acquired by Microsoft. So their main problem is that Microsoft owns it, and Microsoft has a history of doing what they do. Does that mean that the studio has to listen to them? Not really. I mean, in some cases, yes, but realistically, Deb gonna do what Deb gonna do sometime. Okay? I know you don't believe me. Sometimes Deb's just gonna do. Okay? I think the game looks fantastic. I hope I honestly hope that more stuff comes out about it and we get to really dig into it. We get to see. Because I think some of these, I think what's really happening here is that people see patterns, and then they see the pattern with this game, and they think, well, this has to be the same thing. And it doesn't have to be the same thing. It's a different game. It's a different studio. This studio has only made 3 titles now. How can you really say, it's not like they have this long sprawling history of doing this shit. You know, but I guess there's a first time for everything. I will say that. I'll concede to that. But some of the opinions and things coming out kind of feel not fair. The company. Game looks fine. The game looks like it might be a fun game. Now, here's a part where I'm going to have to be fair to both sides. You've heard what I said in opposition and for my approval of the game. But this guy right here made a video, and I'm not gonna go all the way through it. But I do want a chance to just talk on this a bit, and I'll put it in the description if you want to see it, because I really do feel like let's be fair. But this is what I will say about this video. You can watch the whole thing. I mean, look at me. Not everyone wants to sit here for this fucking long. Listen to me talk. Okay, let's be honest. In the spirit of being fair as possible, this guy found some shit. Now, I think in this video, some of it could be, you know, we will talk about this one thing. They found someone who works at the studio who is the DEI consultant. So in that respect, there is a consultant that works for them that does specialize in this. Okay? That's the reality. When you have a company and your employees go online and they do bad shit, they should be punished. They should be fired. They should not destroy the name of the company. There's 80 people that work there, and the reality is like when you do something unilaterally online that hurts your company, you're not just hurting yourself, and you're not just hurting the company, you're hurting everybody that works there that relies on this to, like, you know, these people have fucking lives. Like, I know that we're all on this big hate train and we don't consider people, but there's a lot of human beings that rely on this job for money, and that supports their life. And there's people that rely on them, you know? And I don't want to say this to, like, guilt you or being, like, emotional, but when I was making money and my mom was dying of liver failure, like, let's say that I didn't have that money. You know, where does that put me? So I'm just saying, can we at least, before we go on attack mode and just consider whoever we're attacking not human so we justify ourselves? Because that's what people tend to do, and it's really fucking weird. Everyone you're talking to is a human being. Like, these are real people. You might not agree with them, but that doesn't mean you have to wish death on them, and that doesn't mean you have to go like really super far into it. You can just say you don't like their opinion on things and move on and continue to fight against that kind of ideology. But like, bro, you know what I mean? Come on. So some of the stuff that she said hurts the company a lot. Okay. And this is just in the effort of being fair. So honestly, I hate gamers. Okay. And this is on his video. I'll share it in the description again. If you work for a company and you're a dev and you're somebody who like works with the company and you like do stuff for the company, especially like this is a consultant, you need to not take the Molotov and throw it at the fucking people who are writing your checks. Okay? Because that PR is not good. Okay? For the company. Like, because they'll use it in situations like this. This is why it's bad. She did say these things. This is proven. She did say it. Okay. And she also said, we also need to be very honest about the elephant in the room. The majority of perpetrators are white and white adjacent cis men. Okay. She said this. Yes. But this is exactly why we don't like this stuff, right? Because it's just low-key just being racist, but being able to get away with it. The sheer I mean, dude, you gotta just watch this video. The sheer level of scum-sucking filth, I just can't, that permeates the gaming community is abhorrent. I'm disgusted to even share an interest with so many terrible people. Okay. The reality, okay, the reality on this is you cannot say this shit. Okay, you can't say this shit. Now, I don't know what this is all in response to, though. Okay? It does seem like this guy, or whoever he got this from, could have taken stuff out of context, so you need to keep both sides in mind. Some of this could be out of context, because here's why I think that. At the very bottom, she says, I gotta ask, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Why would she say, what the fuck is wrong with you, like with y'all, after saying, essentially being racist, like someone wouldn't say something about that? What that leads me to believe is like, it was kind of, probably taken out of context a little bit, but regardless, she did say it, it feels like, and scum-sucking filth that permeates the gaming community. This person is not a happy person. Okay, guys? This person is not happy with their life. They're not happy with the choices they've made. And they're putting that on other people. But I think, I also think that there needs to be a progression forward where any form of racism is taken like a little bit more serious. I really don't understand the era that we live in where racism against certain people is totally fine, as long as we think of them as having more than us, or having, I don't know, they try to rationalize it. I think all racism should just be racism. When I read stuff like this is talking from a place of hate. And I'm going to be honest, I've lived in the South. I've seen real racism. And every time that we bring up racism and it's not an actual case of racism, all you do is excuse the times when it is. You know, I have been brought up in places where real racists exist. Okay? And I got to tell you, you know, it's these people are not great people to be around. They're very dangerous, and they're, you know, sometimes there's stuff wrong with them. there's a very big difference between joking with your friends about your different cultural backgrounds. You think mayonnaise is spicy. Do I think that's real racism? No, I don't think it's real racism. I think they're fucking joking around. And that's okay. We should be able to joke about stereotypes and just have an open rapport with each other, because you know what that does? That honestly breaks down these fucking weird ass barriers where we're not allowed to talk to each other about certain things. Okay? To me, when she says this shit, you know, she's just a consultant, so that means she doesn't work for the company. They could fire her. She works for the company, but she doesn't work for the company, right? Consultants are people who are brought in. Okay, they're not like permanent fixtures at the company. Okay, you bring in a data consultant, you bring in all types of consultancies. All consultant means, really, at the end of the day, is that they come in and they help your company arrive to a conclusion on something, more or less. If I had to put it at its base thing. But that's all I'm going to say about the racism shit. I don't know how out of context these are, but again, the video will be down there, so do with that as you will. I do not agree with this bitch. This is the only piece of this whole thing that I've saw that I cannot excuse and will not excuse unless there's an extremely good reason. But this video will be down there and you can watch it. But I don't want to cover it because I don't want to give it too much space if it does turn out to be out of context or not true.